Every time I watch the news, or maybe even listen to it, they make it so dramatic. It's like they do it on purpose sometimes. Not really. Anyway, welcome back to this behind the scenes. Today we're going to talk about the growing situation. Another great video, which kind of came out of nowhere. It was a little funny idea. Yes, this is behind the scenes of the growing situation. Let's do this. Welcome back to Behind the Scenes. Today we're going to talk about a very little niche video on the channel called The Growing Situation. This was an audio project, which basically meant that I was to make an audio product. My idea was a radio show. I believe it was the choice was between a radio show and a podcast. I wanted to do a radio show, because why not? I actually got this idea from a fictional radio broadcast that I listened to a long time ago. Actually, in fact, I think it's a little bit based off, what's it called? War of the Worlds.
In recent weeks, Russia has been building up its forces, and NATO has been worried. Now they have a right to be. Russia has invaded the Baltics.
Where an old radio guy decided to go live and broadcast an alien invasion and sent everyone crazy. That's kind of where the idea came from, if you get where I'm coming from.
NATO is convinced that the Russians want more than just old Soviet states.
And obviously today we're going to specifically talk about sound, since this was a sound project. With sound, there's 4 different layers. Ambient, sound effect, music, and narration. We have received reports that Russian forces may have landed in Dover. All the narration was recorded what is called a condenser microphone, or for short a Yeti microphone. Make it simple. I'm not going to go too much into microphone types, and yes, there are different ones, because I'm not a music guy, I'm a film guy. But this is really important to know what type of microphone you're using and how you use it. Mixing sound is really important, especially in film. So just making sure that all sounds fade in and out equally. Making sure that sound is not too high, basically volume-wise, or maybe bass-wise. The magic to this was I was able to play around with sound effects and ambiences and dialogue and a bit of a sound track in the background. But where does sound come from? Where? There's 2 different ways. You either collect ambient, which you can literally go outside with a condenser. So maybe you have a boom mic or something, and you film a car going past. You collect all that sound, and you mix it together, and make a sound of traffic. Or you can do something which is called Foley. Foley sounds, or Foley artists, are people who make sounds in little studios. Have you ever watched a video where someone is in this little soundproof studio? And maybe, let's just say, we want to trot off a horse, for example. Get 2 words together and go do-do, near a microphone. It sounds strange, don't it? But it is actually true. Or for example, if you want to walk through snow. I've got stones down here. Now imagine if I recorded that. There we go. I have my Foley sound. I have some sound effects. Now what's up with all these different terms? Sound effects, ambience. Aren't they kind of the same? No, they're not. Sound effects could be that. Very short. Ambience could be a filler sound, such as the wind, or someone sawing in the background, or people talking. This is what you call a filler sound, or you fill the empty sound space.
Angry, calling for the government not to go to war. This, I don't think there is much of a question whether or not we should defend ourselves.
And this was all put together, mixed together, and toned together to make it sound as smooth as it does. and that is where I get it. Thank you for watching.